Please
Alright,
subscribe.
let's break down what might happen if the US were to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities. First off, it would be a huge deal. We're talking about a military action that would rattle not just Iran, but the entire world. So, what's the next move for other countries? Let's start with Iran's neighbors. Countries like Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and even Turkey would be on high alert. Some of them might quietly support the US move, especially if they've been worrying about a nuclear-armed Iran, but publicly, most would probably call for calm and urge both sides to de-escalate. Nobody in the region wants a full-blown war on their doorstep. Now, Russia and China are a different story. They've both backed Iran diplomatically and economically. If the US attacks, I'd expect strong condemnation from both Moscow and Beijing. They might push for emergency meetings at the UN, increase their support for Iran behind the scenes, or even ramp up their own military presence in the region, just to show Washington they're not backing down. Then there's Europe. The European Union has always tried to be the peacemaker when it comes to Iran. Remember the Iran nuclear deal? Europe worked hard to make that happen. If the US destroys Iran's nuclear sites, European leaders would probably criticize the action and call for an immediate return to diplomacy. But in reality, their options for real action are limited. They'll try to prevent things from spiraling, but they don't want to get dragged into a conflict either. Let's not forget about Israel. Israel's been really vocal about wanting to stop Iran from getting nuclear weapons. Behind the scenes, they might even have supported the US strike. But after the fact, they'll be bracing for retaliation. Iran has allies and proxy groups in places like Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza, and they could launch attacks in response. Globally, oil markets would freak out. With tensions so high in the Middle East, countries everywhere would be worried about energy supplies and price spikes. You'd probably see governments tapping into their oil reserves and scrambling for alternatives. So, what's the bottom line? After a US strike on Iran's nuclear facilities, most countries would try to calm things down. But nobody really knows what Iran would do next. Retaliation, cyber attacks, or even closing off key oil routes are all on the table. The world would be holding its breath, hoping things don't get out of control. Thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on what comes next in the comments.